Welcome to my YouTube channel. What if the loose change sitting forgotten in a dusty drawer could secretly be worth more than everything you've ever dreamed of combined, more than luxury cars, more than mansions, more than a lifetime of work? Because today we're diving into a coin that looks so ordinary, so completely harmless, that most people would spend it without a second thought. Yet hidden within its tiny silver face lies a story so shocking that even seasoned collectors had to double check reality when its true potential surfaced, and we're talking about the mysterious and highly talked about 2016 P Roosevelt dime, a coin that under the right circumstances has been whispered about in elite numismatic circles with a jaw-dropping potential value reaching as high as $70 million. Yes, you heard that right, $70 million for a single dime that you could be holding right now. And before you brush this off as just another exaggeration, you need to understand why this specific coin has captured so much attention, because this isn't just about rarity, it's about a perfect storm of minting anomalies, historical timing, and collector obsession that transformed a simple 10-cent piece into a legend. And trust me, you'll want to stay all the way till the end, because the next coins we're going to uncover make this one look almost normal, and that's saying something. But first let's break down how a 2016 P dime could even enter the conversation of multi-million dollar coins. So picture this, the year is 2016 and the Philadelphia Mint is producing millions upon millions of Roosevelt dimes, all nearly identical, all intended for everyday use, nothing special on the surface, but behind the scenes something unusual was happening. Small inconsistencies in die preparation and metal composition began slipping through quality control, and while most of these differences were microscopic, a handful of coins emerged with what experts later described as compound mint anomalies, a rare situation where multiple errors occur simultaneously on a single coin. And this is where things start getting interesting, because one particular 2016 P dime reportedly surfaced with a combination of an off-center strike, an extremely subtle double die effect on the lettering, and most importantly, a transitional planchet anomaly, meaning the coin may have been struck on a blank intended for a different denomination or even a different metal composition altogether. And when collectors realized this, the buzz started building fast, because coins like this are not just rare, they're one-of-a-kind accidents that can never be replicated, and in the world of coin collecting, uniqueness is everything. Now imagine being the person who finds this coin mixed in with regular change, maybe from a grocery store, maybe from a vending machine, completely unaware that you're holding something that elite collectors would battle over, and that's exactly what fuels the frenzy. Real stories have circulated of people discovering rare dimes in everyday places, sparking a treasure hunt mentality among collectors worldwide. And here's where it gets even crazier. When rumors of this particular 2016 P anomaly reached private auction circles, unofficial bids reportedly skyrocketed into the millions, with some speculative valuations pushing toward that unbelievable $70 million mark due to its unique combination of features and the intense competition among ultra-wealthy collectors who crave owning something no one else has. And while public records may not always confirm these extreme numbers, the mere possibility has turned this dime into a modern legend, and legends are powerful. They make people look twice at their coins, they make people dig through old jars, they make people question what they've been overlooking all along, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Because somewhere out there, this coin could still be hiding, unnoticed, unrecognized, waiting for someone sharp enough to spot it. And let's talk about what makes collectors go absolutely wild for coins like this. It's not just the money, it's the story, the mystery, the idea that a tiny mistake at the mint created something so rare that it defies logic. And when you combine that with the global community of collectors constantly searching for the next big discovery, you get a perfect storm of demand, and demand drives value, especially when supply is practically non-existent. And here's the thing, most people don't examine their dimes closely, they don't check for slight misalignments, they don't notice faint doubling in the inscriptions, they don't weigh their coins to detect planchet anomalies, and that's exactly why treasures slip through the cracks, because the average person isn't looking, but you are. And that alone puts you ahead of millions of people who might unknowingly spend a fortune without a second thought. Now imagine the moment you realize that one of your coins isn't like the others, that something feels off, something looks different. That's the moment everything changes, and it's moments like these that keep collectors hooked for life, chasing that one discovery that could rewrite their entire future. And just when you think this story couldn't get any more intense, remember this is only the beginning. Because the next coin we're going to explore takes the concept of rarity and pushes it into territory that almost sounds impossible, so make sure you don't go anywhere, keep your curiosity locked in, because if this 2016 P dime shocked you, what's coming next might completely change how you look at every single coin you own. And trust me, you're not going to want to miss it, not even for a second. Next, 2021 D Roosevelt dime. Imagine reaching into your pocket right now, pulling out a simple dime, and unknowingly holding something that could flip your entire life upside down, not in a small way, but in a way that would make headlines, spark global attention, and send collectors into a frenzy. Because the 2021 D Roosevelt dime is one of those coins that hides its true identity so perfectly that even experienced eyes can miss it at first glance, and yet behind that ordinary appearance lies a story so unbelievable that whispers of its value have reached levels that most people wouldn't even dare to imagine, with certain ultra-rare versions rumored in private circles to push toward an astonishing $80 million. And yeah, that sounds insane, but once you understand what makes this coin special, you'll realize why people are taking it very seriously. And if you thought the last coin was shocking, stay locked in, because what makes this one different is on another level entirely, and it ties into a chain of minting events that almost feels like it wasn't supposed to happen at all. So let's break it down from the beginning. The year 2021 was a unique period for the United States Mint. Production pressures were high, demand for circulating coinage had surged, and facilities like the Denver Mint were running at intense capacity, which is exactly the kind of environment where tiny mistakes can slip through, and in rare cases, those mistakes don't just create errors, they create legends. Because among the millions of perfectly normal dimes produced that year, a handful began showing up with anomalies that didn't quite match standard specifications, and one of the most talked about possibilities is a dramatic transitional error tied to experimental metal compositions, meaning a small number of 2021 D dimes may have been struck on planchets not intended for that denomination at all, possibly linked to test materials or cross-denomination blanks. And if that sounds rare, it gets even crazier, because some reports suggest the existence of pieces with ultra-sharp die clashes combined with micro-doubling that only becomes visible under magnification, creating a layered effect on the lettering and portrait that almost looks like a ghost image hovering behind the design. And collectors go absolutely wild for that kind of thing, because it's not just rare, it's visually unique. It tells a story of something going wrong in a way that can never be repeated. And here's where things start heating up. When early discoveries of unusual 2021 D dimes began circulating online and in collector forums, speculation exploded overnight. People started checking rolls, breaking open bank boxes, even revisiting coins they had already set aside, because the idea that something this valuable could be hiding in plain sight was too powerful to ignore. And that's the psychological hook of coin collecting right there, the possibility that life-changing value could be sitting unnoticed in your own home. And while not every unusual dime is worth millions, the rare combination of errors that defines the legendary versions of this coin has made it one of the most hunted modern dimes in circulation today. And think about it for a second, this isn't an ancient coin locked away in a museum, this is modern pocket change, something you could receive as change from a shop, drop into a jar, or overlook completely. And that's exactly why stories keep emerging of people finding rare coins where they least expect them, fueling even more excitement and urgency, because nobody wants to be the person who spent a fortune without realizing it. Now let's talk about the collector side of this, because high-end numismatists aren't just buying metal, they're buying exclusivity, and when a coin appears that might be one of a kind or part of an extremely limited anomaly group, it becomes a status symbol, something that only a handful of people in the world can own, and when you have multiple wealthy collectors chasing that same piece, the value can skyrocket into territory that seems unreal to the average person, and that's exactly what's driving those massive rumored valuations, not just rarity, but competition, prestige, and the sheer thrill of owning something no one else can. And here's the kicker, coins like this often go unnoticed for years before being properly identified, meaning that right now, at this very moment, there could be one sitting in a forgotten drawer, a coin jar, or even your wallet, just waiting for someone to recognize its significance. And if you're paying attention, if you're actually checking your coins instead of ignoring them, you're already ahead of the game. Because most people never even look, and that's how treasures stay hidden. And before you think this is the peak, before you assume it doesn't get more intense than this, just remember what I told you earlier, the coins coming next push the boundaries even further, with stories that sound almost impossible until you see the details, so don't lose focus now, keep that curiosity alive. Because if the 2021 D Roosevelt dime has your mind spinning, what's coming after this might completely redefine what you believe is possible in the world of coins. And trust me, you do not want to miss what's ahead.